When did you realize that you're dating an idiot? This was back in 1990, Central Alabama. I was 22, fresh out of school, working full-time at a lumberyard during the week, and playing rhythm guitar at a few dive bars on the weekend. I was dating this girl, Melissa, for about 6 months. She was pretty, fun to be around, laughed at my dumb jokes, and had a thing for rock bands. We'd met at a karaoke bar where she'd done a surprisingly good cover of Cherry Bomb, and we kind of hit it off from there. She wasn't exactly book smart, but I didn't care. She liked music, she was kind to waitresses, and my mom hadn't said anything too critical when they met. That was about as good as it got back then. So this one weekend, she tells me she and her best friend Cheryl are heading up to Birmingham. That wasn't unusual. Birmingham, Alabama has decent shopping, a couple of concert venues, and Cheryl's cousin lived up that way. I was playing a double set at a bar in Sylacauga anyway, so I told her to have fun, be careful, and give me a call when she got back. Sunday night rolls around. I'm sweaty, tired, back at home trying to wash the smell of beer and cigarettes off me, when she shows up at my door looking deflated. Not sad exactly, more like disappointed, like when a kid realizes the ice cream machine is broken at McDonald's. I ask her how the trip was, and she says, "It sucked. We didn't find it." I thought maybe Cheryl's cousin had flaked, or the mall was closed, or whatever, so I say, "Didn't find what?" She flops down on my couch like someone who's just hiked a mountain. "Ozzy Osbourne's house. We looked all weekend and couldn't find it." I'm holding a wet dish rag in my hand. I just stare at her. "You went to Birmingham to find Ozzy Osbourne's house?" "Yeah," she says, like it's the most obvious thing in the world. "We saw it on MTV, that special about rock stars' homes. His gate was all black iron with the OZZY letters in gold. We figured, well, he lives in Birmingham, right? So we drove around Mountain Brook and Vestavia Hills looking for it." I stand there trying to process what she's saying. "You mean Birmingham, England?" She blinks. "What?" "Ozzy Osbourne is from Birmingham, England, across the ocean, in the UK." She sits up straight like I just accused her of something. "No, he's not. They said Birmingham. Why would he live in England? He's on MTV." I don't even know what to say. I keep looking at her, hoping she's joking, but no, she's actually mad. She spent 2 days driving around the rich neighborhoods of Alabama, looking for the house of a guy who lives 4,000 miles away, and she's upset at him for not being there. I finally just say, "He's British, from the UK. He was in Black Sabbath. That accent? That's not Southern." She looks genuinely confused for a second, like the whole foundation of her weekend just cracked. But why would MTV say Birmingham if they didn't mean here? I didn't have an answer for that. I didn't have an answer for anything anymore. She got defensive after that, saying that maybe he used to live here, or maybe he had a second home, or maybe we were being lied to about where he was from. I just nodded and let it slide. I knew it wasn't going to help anything to argue with her about international geography at that point. The thing is, that wasn't the only red flag. It was just the biggest, most obvious one. There were others, like how she thought Alaska was an island because it was in the box on the map, or how she once asked me if the moon moved, or if it just stayed in the same place and we spun around it like a merry-go-round. But up until that Ozzy moment, I had brushed it off as cute or harmless. After that weekend, something shifted. I realized I couldn't have a real conversation with her, not without feeling like I was explaining everything from scratch. I didn't need a genius, but I needed someone who didn't think Birmingham, Alabama was crawling with British rock stars hiding behind wrought iron gates. We broke up about a month later. No big fight, no drama. I think she could tell I was pulling away, and she wasn't exactly in it for the long haul either. Last I heard, she married a guy who runs a tire shop and they have 3 kids. Good for her. But to this day, I still can't hear the words Birmingham, Alabama, without picturing her and Cheryl in a beat-up Corolla, rolling through Mountain Brook with a disposable camera, hoping Ozzy's butler would wave them in through the gate.